What is going on, guys? Sammy One More from Sammy One Productions here, back with another review for y'all today. The first full TV review I've done in a while, and I haven't done an actual full review on this show yet, so I figured, why the hell not? And that's what I'm talking about is Big Brother Canada 11, which just last night just ended its 11th season. And since I've never done an actual full review on Big Brother Canada yet, I figured, why the hell not? So that's what I'm going to be doing for all today. I will be talking about spoilers in this review because, again, every time I reality show TV series without getting to spoilers, just give you a warning if you don't really care about that stuff. Just maybe go watch a season, but you've been warned. Because I feel I can't do like a review on reality was just around, talking about like who wins and all that jazz and everything. So let's get to Big Brother Canada 11. Again, I've been watching this Canada since around the start of season 2 or 3, and I mean, this is definitely more consistent than Big Brother US, honestly. Like, so far in the 11th season, there really hasn't been a downright bad season. Like, the closest could have been season 8, but again, that season never finished because of COVID, so I'm not even counting that in the discussion. Like, the closest, like, so far my least favorite season is season 7, which is just a 6 out of 5 or 6.75 out of 10 at best. And when that's your worst season, that's saying something. Because I pretty much enjoyed so far every season of Big Brother Canada. But more as they do have some random twists here and there that sometimes don't make any sense. It's always the cast that do make these shows so fun to watch. The crazy moves, the crazy scenarios that happen in this season. The matching twist down, surprised Big Brother US actually hasn't implemented yet. And I mean that in a good way, like a triple eviction. I mean, they kind of did in 22, but in an obviously different light. Yeah, but again, I've enjoyed all of these seasons so far. Like, that's kind of shocking how consistently good Big Brother Canada is. Sometimes even, like, outdoes Big Brother US, honestly, if you really think about it. I bet you in time where it has some of the worst parts, 4 seasons with 15 for 19, so that's saying something. But again, it's been really consistent throughout, especially with the last 2 seasons, Big Brother Canada 9 and 10, being in my top 5 seasons of Big Brother, with, no joke, the last season of Big Brother 10 now being my favorite Big Brother season of all time. I'm dead serious. Like, it's about Big Brother US 10 as the best season. I never thought I would think that honestly, because it's Big Brother US 10, but it did. And one thing that made the last season so great is that you got people that are just crazy, zany characters that are there to play, that are there to not play it safe, that are there to make crazy moves, that are there to really think. And sometimes it's just been known that some seasons have people feel like they can just like steamroll the entire game, and sometimes they can make it pretty boring, honestly. I mean, that's kind of why everybody All Stars was pretty boring, and why some other seasons were boring, because some people feel like they can actually cheat the game and just like steamroll the entire season. I'm all that impressed on gameplay level. It's not fun on a TV level. Which kind of makes last few seasons so refreshing, actually, because I feel like now I had people that play honestly pretty terribly throughout, but I mean, you have people that at least have to play, and you got some fantastic characters throughout that season. Like, it's one thing people can always count on Big Brother, even in US seasons, is crazy, zany, and wild characters. And Big Brother 9 definitely has that, but Big Brother 10 to a whole new freaking level. We got some people that some weeks that probably could have been the safest weeks out there, and yet someone you get some crazy stuff that happens that makes them so much fun and engaging. Like usually the end games of Big Brother for the most part are usually pretty boring or not the most interesting in the world, but sometimes those are really actually enticing weeks. Like, it's rare for Big Brother season to actually go every single week. You can expect something crazy, you can expect something great. Like, for me, those are the best Big Brother seasons, and that's what makes the last season of Big Brother Canada 10 so great. And even though Big Brother 24 is not my favorite season, even that actually improved and actually had crazy, insane endgame. And in fact, both seasons have winners that prove that basically you don't need to be dominant, that you don't need to win competitions to win Big Brother. Like, those 2 seasons prove that you don't need to win competitions, because season 24 had someone who basically only won 2 HOHs, and last season someone didn't even win a freaking HOH. The only one veto. The only person that done that was World Kirby season 2. point is, when Big Brother's at its best, it can get pretty awesome. Unfortunately, modern US Big Brother is kind of guilty of kind of just going through the same old motions and going for twists that don't make much sense, or just they feel like they'd be like bigger and bolder and crazy when sometimes being simple is better. I mean, why do you think Big Brother US 10 is considered to be the best season of Big Brother? Because it was simple. Aside from one night as play a twist week 4, it was simple. They let the players play the game. And again, that season should still be the best season of Big Brother. So I'm going on a lot of tangent how Big Brother is about the season itself, but I want to get that out of the way, honestly. But now let's talk about the current season, Big Brother Canada 11, which is kind of disappointing that this ended up being an All-Star season like a lot of people were hoping for. I mean, I was kind of hoping it would be an All-Star season. Like, it's just kind of crazy that we haven't got one yet, if I'm being honest. For some reason, Big Brother is kind of like against returning players, and those supposedly we might get like a newbie versus returning players season in next season, Big Brother US, which I'm very excited about. Still hoping we might get like a chance season, but we'll see. But let's talk about the current season of Big Brother Canada, which is obviously what this video is about. Honestly, we're just getting a whole new side cast, you got people that again here play game with him. And like I said, when it comes to the casting, Big Brother Canada always nails it every time. They always get people that are there to play, that are there to be crazy, zany, and awesome. And you get a lot of that here, honestly. To a lesser extent, honestly, which I'll get into in a little bit. So here's my overall general thoughts on Big Brother Canada 11. I really enjoyed it. I honestly really liked it. I don't think it reached the heights of the last two seasons, honestly, but you still get some fantastic moments here. You do get some great characters here. I just don't think it's not as great as like, oh my god, as the previous two seasons, and obviously for a lot of reasons, because I don't like it. Did have a bit of a rough start, if I'm being honest. I mean, in terms of gameplay, it was still great and crazy. I mean, you got people that while that videos were obvious, it's kind of great to the end of pulling them off, actually, if you really think about it. And in the first 3 weeks, you had 3 people walk out of the house, which is something I don't think hasn't been done in any season. Like, you know, someone that honestly could have been a potential super fan and great player, and then walking out in week 1. And then, like, week 3, you basically get someone who got nominated and they're just leaving, and they end up being a placement. And the person that was the backdoor target ended up signing, like, because of an issue with the contestants. That's like, hey, I decided I'm gonna leave to prove a point. Which, despite how weird that is an honest, in my opinion, an all-time great moment. If I'm being honest with people, I can't, because it was so insane and so crazy that I just loved it. Love it. I think the rough start I mentioned before is because you get some pretty unlikable characters in this season. You get some players that aren't really the most entertaining in terms of likability, and some aspects aren't really the most enjoyable characters in the world. Most of the stuff that they say, how they treat certain players. There's one player which we will get into. But I think after like the Dan eviction in like week 4, week 5, because I keep getting that actually wasn't a week 1 eviction this time actually. But after that, I think after that eviction, the season was good from here on that. The season was great from that point forward. But of course, again, you do get some unlikableness that's still kind of, but it's like, you know, questionable at times. It didn't really ruin this. It didn't really ruin it, honestly. Cause you get some other great characters here. You get some other likable players, some great people in this season. I'm not sure how many they're gonna be on in like the grand scheme of Big Brother Canada, if being honest, but overall the cast was pretty good, honestly. Except some pretty unlikable characters, which was Hope being one of them, and Ty, which we'll get into. And to end with Zach, who again is pretty unlikable, but his exit is so hilarious that I just loved it. So after that week 5 vision, you get crazy move after crazy move. Yeah, visions that could have been the easiest in the world. They end up coming crazy. They end up coming insane. You get some great character moments. Unfortunately, I also must address the elephant in the room here, because this is actually the first Big Brother season that doesn't have live feeds. Instead, they have these like digital dailies that they have here. Like, I've never really been a live feed watcher, if I'm being honest. I never like watched live feeds at all during my time watching Big Brother, because I don't really see the point of it, being honest. Not sure that's a controversial opinion or whatever, but not just me. I just never saw the point of live feeds, honestly, and digital dailies, they were fine. They were there, honestly. It's something I don't really test, but it's something I never really found interesting either. That's the best. That's all I can say about that. Just, I think I get that out of the way also. And also, you can have like a season of Big Brother where having at least like one major twist, and you get kind of an Udano week where the age which is kind of like invisible, which will have much better than how they try to do it in Big Brother 9. And you get this like fatal feasting where basically the HOH just picks someone to be safe, and until there's 3 people left, they create competition where one is safe and the other 2 people may just get evicted. So it's kind of like a normal eviction, but just in a different way, which I actually like that actually. It's definitely one of the better XU twists that Ken has done, honestly. Again, Big Brother twists are always like very all over the place, honestly, because sometimes they can be too overpowered in some areas, but some of them kind of like fun nods, honestly, and this was one of them. But like therefore, the cast can make or break your season, and thankfully, for the most part, it definitely makes it, honestly. Even some of the earlier boots are definitely memorable, like John Michael or Beto, who players that couldn't honestly being great power players, but sometimes even from no fault of their own, they end up becoming very rejected or seem like big much threats. Vanessa definitely has a moment. Again, Zach was a pretty unlikable character, but his exit is so great. Dan was fine, honestly, but he's one of the people I didn't really care for in this season, to be honest. Jonathan was actually a pretty likable presence throughout his season. He actually even won Candace's favorite house guest, which is kind of interesting. All he has the fun moments, like Satina had great moments. Hope definitely has his moments, though he was also pretty unlikable. Especially one in that week was that guy that he actually could not vote because he brought something in that he wasn't supposed to. Which, to be honest, was kind of why Zach actually got evicted, decided to leave, honestly. Honestly, I think Akuzi, who's definitely one of the big power plays this season, one of the most likable people on this cast. If we do end get also a season, I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up between, like, she's probably the biggest log for a return. You got the 3 people in Shanana, Renee, and Claudia, who basically from Female Alliance, which ended the season ending after Kuzi's eviction. And they're all very likable. They all definitely have their fun moments. Some are definitely better than others, but overall, I liked all 3 of them. Anika was decent. Not too much to say about her, but she definitely has her moments. And you got Daniel, who definitely was actually a great power player. Definitely was a bit up and down in terms of how felt about him points, but overall, he was still a likable presence. And he definitely was that great. Well, what actually was a great pronunciation. A lot of people thought he was actually going to win this season, honestly. And then we got to talk about Ty, because oh boy, Ty. And at least kind of something I'm also kind of conflicted about this season, and that's pretty much that he won this season. Not saying he didn't deserve it. It's just, again, he's definitely one of the biggest unlikable players on this season. I mean, hell, in that freaking Zach division, he was actually close to actually leaving with Zach. I did not make that up. That's how crazy this season was. And somehow he ended up winning 4 vetoes in a freaking row, which is insane. I mentioned it's also the first season, I don't know if it happened before, but it's probably the first season in quite a while, or ever, where pretty much in every week, the veto was used. I don't know if that happened before, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't remember a season where in every week, the veto ended up being used. Well, someone took not me on the block, or someone tried to make a random thing and took someone else off the block. Like, Ty was definitely kind of a wild card this season in terms of that, because he won like 4 vetoes in a freaking row, which is also very impressive, by the way. By the way, he definitely not belong in like one of the big competition winners, honestly. So yeah, he definitely had moments where he was very unlikable. He was very detestable at times, and especially how he treats certain people. Actually, his malicious acts do work, especially when it comes to Claudia, but as it becomes like, he definitely has his moments, but it's the moments where he just not really likable. It just doesn't make him that like fun to root for. How some people kind of, a weird part of me was kind of like rooting for him to not win, honestly, or for him to basically just get decimated by the jury. Honestly, because there was a chance that could have honestly happened, but he had to win by an 8-1 vote. Even one of Claudia's old linemen, Renee, ended up voting for him. And Claudia only received the vote for Shanae, which is definitely interesting to think about. So, into the gameplay level, I'm impressed. In terms of a likability level, not really, which makes this win very conflicting in my opinion. And I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one that thinks that. And that pretty much sums up my thoughts on Big Brother Canada 11, honestly. And you do get some great moments here, you do get some fun character moments. Honestly, and there are definitely some pretty unlikable plays that do bring the season down a little bit. So, and I'm still surprised about the winner, so I wouldn't say the season is as strong as the previous few seasons, which I think are like, our top 5 Big Brother seasons. But in the end, the season still did win me over. It's still another really solid, great season of Big Brother Canada. Yeah, if you guys somehow have not checked out Big Brother Canada, I would definitely recommend. Again, in some ways it's kind of a little superior to Big Brother US some ways. Again, you get some questionable twists, especially with how they're implemented. But the cast always makes it so much fun and so entertaining. So I do recommend checking out Big Brother Canada if you guys somehow haven't. So all in all, I am going to give Big Brother Canada 11 a 9.25 out of 10. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing Big Brother Canada 11. Let me know down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this season? Have you seen it? Would you rank this among the season? And let me know if you want me to do an updated ranking on Big Brother Canada. Let me know down below in the comment section. And what players would like to see back for a special All-Star season? Again, let me know down below in the comment section. And actually, I'm thinking of doing like a cast video discussing who I would want to see in an All-Star season. So let me know that down below in the comment section. Let me know what other content you want to see me do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am Sammy One World from Sammy One Productions. I will see you next time. As always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.